Hi everyone, welcome to Northern Zen Yoga. My name is Sandra and today we're going to be working on our arms but with a strap. Last time we did small weights, little cans of food that we could lift up and down to help build some strength in our arms. Today we're going to work on the flexibility of our arms and we're going to be using a strap to do this. So if you don't have a strap handy, pause the video and go and get your strap. And if you don't have a strap, make sure you find yourself a long scarf that isn't too stretchy. You don't want something that's going to give too much while you're stretching out your arms. Or a belt, a leather belt would also work. So whatever you've decided to get, pause the video, go get it, and we'll begin in a moment. All right, now you're back. So we're going to begin by taking our strap and we're going to set it up so that we have lots of extra stuff on either side and it's not going to get too much in our way. And we're going to hold our arms out about this distance apart, a couple of feet apart, across our head. And apparently I have one arm higher than the other here. And then we're going to just flip it around so that we have a really good grip on it. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do some arm raises. So before we begin though, we're just going to sit for a few moments and we're just going to come to the mat. Take a few deep breaths, breathing into your belly breaths. Inhaling, push your belly out, and on the exhale, push it back in and up. And breathing through our nose, unless it's impossible for you to do that. And then you can breathe gently through your mouth. Inhaling and exhaling. Just calming down the body, getting ready for our session. And in yoga we breathe by inhaling as we move upward and exhaling as we move downward. So we're going to begin with an inhale, inhaling up, exhale down. Inhale, coming back up again. Pull against your strap to strengthen here. Exhale down. So we're going to keep strong arms as we go up and down. And remember, if you're only getting up to about here today, that's fine. As long as you're feeling it, you're doing it. So let's inhale, coming back up again. Pulling the hands apart as we rise up. Exhale, slowly coming back down again. Inhale, coming back up. And exhale on the way down. One more time. Inhale up. Let's hold up here as high as you can, even if you're here. Holding, pulling, pulling, pulling. Feel the tension all the way along the arms, down to the shoulders. Take another inhale. And on your exhale, drop the arms back down again. We're going to do the same thing only behind us. So we're going to take the strap, we're going to move it behind us, and about the same distance apart, we're going to pull the hands away from us so that our arms are up in the air, slightly off the floor. Inhale, lifting up as high as you can. Exhale, coming back down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up one more time. This time we're going to hold it here and start to put some tension on that strap by pulling your hands away from each other. And exhale down. And just let your shoulders relax a moment. We're going to try again, but this time going side to side with the upward raises. So raising your arm up into the air. And on your exhale, let's just take a little side bend, so that we're pulling this hand down and we're stretching this arm up. Keep both of your cheeks on your mat. Don't have to go very far. You just want to feel the stretch up in the top of the shoulder. Inhale, exhale, come back to center. Let's go to the other side now. Pulling it up, pulling down with this hand, holding it back with this hand. Come back up again and exhale down. We're going to do that another time. Inhaling up, exhale. Side bend to the right. And if you want to bend your elbow, that's okay. As long as you're getting that arm up closer to the ear, coming back to center, exhale to the other side. And coming back down to center and dropping back down again. When you're doing these exercises, you'll probably feel it in the shoulder joints. Shoulders are one of those things that as we age start to get very fragile and very, very easily start to lock up on us, especially if we have injured or lifted something a little bit too heavy. So that's why it's important for us to make sure that we're working those shoulders, keeping the muscles flexible and strong so that we don't injure or cause ourselves to have a torn rotator cuff or torn tendons. The next short exercise we're going to do is going to be similar, but this time we're just going to keep the hands about a foot apart or 10 inches, something like that, just directly in front of you. And we're going to inhale the arms up as high as we can, reaching for the ceiling, straighten up the arms, straighten, straighten. Try not to pull your arms up, try to pull them just back. And exhale, coming back down again. Inhale up. And exhale down. And this you should start to feel in the back of your shoulders. Inhale up. And we're going to hold it up here. And we're going to, again, create some tension by pulling against each side of the strap we're holding on to. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And slowly exhale down and relax our shoulders. Shake it out. Another thing we have difficulty with is being able to reach back behind and touch and scratch, even just give your back a scratch. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use the strap to help us do that. So we're going to take the strap and we're going to drape it over one shoulder and reach with the opposite hand. We're going to be reaching behind and grabbing the strap. So make sure that your fist is against your back so that your back of your hand is touching the flat of your back. And the other one we're going to start to pull on to pull that arm a little bit higher up into the back. And I'm just going to turn slightly here so you can see. So I'm pulling on this one and I'm lifting this one up higher. And it's pulling in this part of the shoulder, in the front of the shoulder. And I'm going to release that. I'm going to pull again, lifting it up just a little higher. Just till I feel the arm doesn't want to go any further and I feel some strain on my shoulder. And release. One more time. Let's pull it up just a little more this time. See if we can get a little bit higher. And micro movements count here, so don't be expecting great leaps. And release. We'll switch sides. So switching to the other side. I'm going to drape it over the shoulder. This time the opposite hand is in the back. And pulling over my shoulder, I'm bringing this arm up a little higher. Just little micro movements. The back of my hand is against the back of my body. Pulling it up a little more. And breathe. And just relax that. Let's pull it up a little bit more, see if I can work it up a little bit higher. Or just keeping the tension on in the same place is the same thing. And dropping the elbow down toward the floor. And one more time. Let's put some tension on that. This shoulder happens to be my bad shoulder. I had torn rotator cuff many years ago. And I have lots of scar tissue build up in there. So this shoulder tends to have a little less flexibility than my other shoulder. And release. We're going to do a similar thing, only working in bringing the upper hand behind us to scratch our back this way. So, Same idea. Over the shoulder, opposite hand is hanging on to the strap in the back. And then we're going to take this time and pull down, pulling the shoulder up. So we're going to try to keep our elbow pointed forward here as we pull down onto the strap to try to bring the arm toward the back more, down the back. And you're going to find that you're going to feel this even in the elbow joint. So be careful here that you're not over extending the elbow joint. Make sure you're just feeling it stretch and not feeling any sharp jabbing pains in there. And release. Switching sides. And just like anything, you're going to find that one side of your body is going to want to lift up and reach down a little bit better than the other side. So hanging onto the strap here, got a good grip on this strap, and I'm pulling down below. You may have to keep moving your arm, your hand, sorry, a little bit up the strap to try to pull down a little farther. Trying to bring that shoulder up so that you can reach down your back a little bit more, just little micro movements. Release, pull, breathing all the time, don't hold your breath, be careful of that. And release. So let's shake those shoulders out a little bit. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a movement with our hands by resisting. So through resistance, we build a little bit of strength. We also build stability in the tendons. So all I've got is one hand holding the strap close to my shoulder, the other hand holding the strap, and we're going to put some tension onto that so that the resistance of trying to pull this hand from the shoulder is putting a strain onto my forearm. Tighten up your muscles. Now I want you to start to tighten up the muscle in the back. So we're going to tension up that. We're going to be pushing, 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 feeling everything tighten up and relax it down. Let's try that again. Pull, 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 pull. I'm going to just tighten this up a bit. Pull, pull. Feel the straining on your muscles as you're trying to resist your own body weight strain onto keeping your hand from going forward. Pull. This is going to help you build a little bit of muscle up here in the shoulder and a little bit into your biceps. And definitely there's going to be some workout for your triceps and your forearm and your wrist. And we're going to switch to the other side. So moving to the other side now. We're going to pull this away. Holding this hand up by the shoulder, the other one is trying to pull the strap out of my hand. Just pushing, 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 pushing. Nothing else to have to do here but just create strong tension in here. Release. Let's do that again. Think about your back. Think about getting your shoulder blades involved in this. Release one more time. Working right down to the back, bringing the shoulder blades into focus. Your biceps, your forearm, your wrist. Pull, 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 pull. And release. And there you go. Nice workout for the chest and the back. The other thing we're going to work on is just working on opening up the chest. And we're going to reach behind, we're going to grab our hands. And if you cannot grab your hands, you're going to use the strap. So you're going to make the strap become an extension for you being able to grab your hands or your wrists. So in my case, I can do it, and I'm going to pull back so that, but you might be here. You might be pulling back way here. Try to get those hands as close as you can get them though, so that you're more in this kind of position where you're squeezing the shoulder blades together. And we're going to start to lift up the hands away from the floor, lift them up without tipping forward. We're just lifting them up, even if it's only a few inches off the floor, trying to squeeze the shoulder blades into each other. Breathe through this, release slightly, and let's squeeze the shoulder blades together again. And release. And then we'll squeeze together one more time. Nice, tight squeeze, lifting those hands up just a little higher now. And release. Shake everything out. Ooh. So why do we do that? Why do we care about the front part opening up the chest here? Well, basically, most of our lives have been in some sort of position of being hunched over. And as we age, we start to conform to this particular rounded shoulder. Sometimes we could be in our 30s or our 40s and we're finding we're kind of rounded out in the back and our shoulders are crunched forward, we have poor posture. And what happens is, if we don't take care of this, over time our spine will start to, let me see if I can get my hand here so you can see it, will start to create a little more curve in it up where your neck and your back join. So what happens then is you start to get a hump. Everybody has heard about that little hump back there. Some of you may even begin to feel the beginnings of that hump back there. This is the exercises that will help you to strengthen the chest, the shoulders, to be able to open up the chest more so that you will not be going into this collapsing position. And the next thing you know, your head is kind of like dropping down below the shoulders. And you've seen a lot of ladies out there who walk around like this. And as a matter of fact, I was one of them. I was getting to that point when I started yoga, just in my late 50s. So one of the benefits that had done for me by practicing yoga was to get my posture back and to get my neck back up so that you could actually see I had a neck and not see all you saw was my shoulders up and my ears because my head was thrust forward. So I have one more thing to show you that you can work on, because some of you have complained about pain in your knees or not being able to stretch the knee out very far when you're doing the floor exercises. And really what this is about, this is, back in here, this is your hamstrings. Your hamstrings are these long tendons that help to support the back of the leg, help to support the knee, help to give us the ability actually to walk. And what happens is when we sit a lot, we start to shrink these hamstrings. And exercises, even if you're very active and you're doing bicycling, bicycling is really tough on the hamstrings. It really starts to contract them and shorten them because of the position of your leg is constantly in a bent knee position. And the other thing that can do it is a lot of walking. Now walking is not quite as bad as bicycling, but still, because we're constantly just working from the knee down, moving the leg out, it does tend to have a little bit of a shortening in the hamstrings. But most of us, we're not biking and we're not walking that much anymore, so it's really the culprit is sitting watching television or sitting, period, doing anything, even if you're still at work and you're still sitting all day at work. So this particular stretch is going to help you get your hamstrings starting to strengthen and lengthen. So we're going to take the strap and we're going to be very careful, and we're going to make sure we place it over the ball of our foot here, not in our arch and not across the toes. So we want to make sure we're in that nice fleshy area, the pad of our foot. And then we're going to start bent knee. We're going to have the strap here. We're going to make sure the strap stays pretty much where it is. But what happens is we start to push the heel out and stretch out the leg. And I'm just going to open up. And if you're sitting on a little cushion or something, you may, and you have pretty strong stretchy hamstrings, you might find that you can actually lift your leg up off the floor, and you just keep pushing at the heel. Even if you're very flexible, this is a great exercise to do to help maintain your flexibility in your hamstrings. So just push until you feel it. And when you feel it, stay. and breathe there until it starts to relax and not feel so strong anymore, and then start to push again. And stay, relax, see if things settle down, and then try to push some more. Now, you might only be here and you're feeling it, or you could be here and you're feeling it. That's fine. Stay in that spot where you feel the hamstrings pulling, and just breathe into it and hope that it will start to relax a little bit so you could just stretch out a bit more. So you want to make sure you stay even on both sides, even though your body is never even on both sides. For example, for me, this leg is the leg that has the stretchiest hamstrings. This leg is the one I have to really work at most of the time to keep it flexible. But we're going to do both sides. So again, we're going to start in a bent knee position. We're going to find some tightness here so that we have our starting point, and we're going to start to push the heel out and flatten the leg down. Now, don't start going with the straps, okay? Make sure you're keeping your straps taut and you're working at pushing the heel away from your body so that you can get that leg straightened out a little more. Now, if you can never get a completely straight leg, if it looks like you've got knobby knees like I do, you probably will always appear to have your knees slightly bent. But it's about where your flexibility range is so that you can do a lot of the bend over exercises and different postures and feel no pain in your hamstrings and your Achilles tendon. The other thing that this particular stretch will do is help your Achilles tendon to stretch, which gets shortened if you wear high heel shoes. Of course, you know, I wore them most of my life because I'm a little shorty. So this is something also too I had to really work at, is getting those Achilles tendons to lengthen out a little bit. And release. So there's some work you can do with the strap. Hopefully this will help you. Strap is a great investment. You can get these at most yoga supply stores. You can also check places like Marshall's and Winners, Home Sense, that have, you know, a little bit of the typical sporting goods that you can do at home, and they often have straps, and prices are not that bad. If you go to some of the online shops that are just for yoga, you might find that the prices are a little higher, so shop around. You could go on Amazon, you can go to lots of places to get a strap. Straps are usually around the $10 mark, give or take a couple of bucks, depending on the length. So if you do invest in a strap, make sure you get a long one. I think this one is a 8-foot or 10-foot one. Then you can use it for lots of things, including hip exercises. If you only get a 6-foot one, you might be limited, because it's only 3 feet on either side, so there's not a lot of wiggle room if you're taller. Anyway, let's close our class by just sitting quietly for a moment and taking a few breaths. Just breathe into your belly. Close your eyes. Let yourself just relax a little bit. Feel your body. Feel maybe some of those muscles that you just stretched in your back and in your shoulders start to talk to you a little bit. Let you know that they're there. And then we're going to bring our palms together. And we're going to begin to rub the palms vigorously, trying to create some heat. Generating a little bit of prana. And as you think of those places that are now talking to you, that you can feel the little bit of muscle strain that's gone on, close your eyes. Place your palms over your closed eyes, and when you breathe in, open them. Send that energy right down your back, through your shoulders, to your elbows and wrists. Exhale, palms to ceiling, sending the rest of the energy back out. Scoop up a bit and bring it back to heart center. Namaste. Thank you so much for watching. Exciting news is that on November the 28th, 2020, at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have another live class coming. So I hope to see you there. And if you haven't already subscribed, please press that subscribe button and join the group and be part of us so that you will get all the notifications about what is happening, what's coming up. And also, when the live classes are fed out, you can just jump right in there. Bye for now. Have a wonderful day. Namaste. See you later.